marking process, and so I think the results should be better. That is my expectation.
All right. Well, we certainly hope so. There are many children waiting and watching, and of course, as we said, parents and teachers as well. Before we took the break, we were speaking about the management of the entire sector as well. Otua, you had a comment that you wanted to make before we took that breather.
Thank you, Daktari. You are quite optimistic, as teachers are. There was an increase. If you look at the statistics, there was only one A between 2016 and 2017. So we expect that, though this A is trickling in at a rate you cannot, at a very minimal rate, but we expect more quality grades this year, Smriti. But I was talking about management of exams in general. And I still, in as much as I do not hold a brief of any teacher, or do I represent any union, but from a humanitarian point of view, I feel, and I've been saying this from the very onset of this particular program, that the Kenyan teacher has had a very big responsibility in this. When you look at the marking session itself, the examiner, who is the Kenyan teacher, was supposed to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. You cruise through these papers, and even before that, there was a marking of dummies and all that, up until when the actual live scripts are marked, you sleep latest at around 10 p.m. You can imagine the fatigue, Smriti. But we could not even complain on that. The Kenyan teacher is quite committed to deliver results, because you see the time limits have been put on the teacher, that you must, or the examiner for that matter, you must deliver these results before Christmas. And which we are not underscoring. The Kenyan student must be given a Christmas present. The parent must be given earlier results, so that he can plan, even as he celebrates Christmas. He knows that his child or daughter or son has performed this. It so happened with KCPE, record time. It is happening with KCSE, record time. But on the flip side, we as the Kenyan teachers are saying that even with this undue pressure on us to deliver, why is the Kenyan government, and in this case, the department of a Kenyan government called Kenya National Examination Council, if I told you the statistics, you really have to reckon that the Kenyan teacher or examiner is going through a lot. A paltry 850 shillings for the examiner, right, for the supervisor, and a paltry 500 shillings for an invigilator. And the bullet is on your head. Should that exam leak, you are actually, the fine is almost to a tune of 5 million shillings. Right. And so the teacher took that process very, very diligent. You saw what happened in Pangani Girls here, when a teacher from my backyard in Bungoma County, and may God rest his soul in peace, from Kimilili Boys, was trying to, and I think it's because of the psychological pressure and the work duress that you are put on. The teacher was knocked down by a speeding car, as he was crossing to the exam center. Right. The question I'm putting in is, where is the motivation? Kenya National Examination Council needs, for instance, to give us insurance, medical insurance. During that period, we are marking this paper. Right. We are left on our own whims. Let
me bring Emmanuel into this, because Emmanuel, before you joined this conversation, we have had a lot of grievances from the teachers, validly, but also we had Janet Oko in, and from the government's perspective, who gave her point of view. What are your views on the way teachers are placed in society and in the education system when it comes to their training and also their pay?
I think the issue of motivating teachers is a big one. Goes beyond the exam period. We know that you can have children learn under trees, but if they have motivated teachers, they will learn. Yes. That is important. So for me, the issue of teacher motivation is a big one. It's an issue that needs to be given a lot of thought and priority. But going back to the issue of exams and how exams were managed, I was unhappy with the level of high-powered government delegations that were involved in invigilation of exams. I don't think the presence of a CS in a school will prevent leakage. I thought that was wastage of public funds. I thought maybe some of these people were idle or they were looking for per diem. I'm sorry to say that, but I thought it was wrong. One, because for some children in remote parts of Kenya, that was intimidating, and disruptive to their focus on the exam. And I'm hoping that come next year we will not see top government officials flying around in choppers trying to invigilate exam, because they can't. Secondly, I think that in the long run we need to do away with this do or die issue around exam, because that has been the discussion we've had for a while. When you see exams being invigilated by so many guns and so many important people, that makes the candidate feel like this is do or die. And I think that is not useful to the learner, and it's not adding value to our society. We need to think, and I'm happy that we have come so far in efforts to reform the curriculum. I hope that the reform process continues to the end and does away with this do or die exam.
All right, Emmanuel, thanks very much. On your screens, finally, Cabinet Secretary for Education Amina Mohamed is in our view. She has presented herself there at the NEC headquarters. Let's listen in as we now await for the KCSE results to be announced.
على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. All praise and thanks is due to Allah, Lord of all the world. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, most merciful, most compassionate, Malik Yawmiddin, Lord of the day of recompense. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Only you do we ask for help, and only you do we worship. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, guide us unto the straight path. Sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim, the path of those whom you have favored. غير المغضوب عليهم, not those among whom you are angry with. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, or those who have gone astray. أما بعد, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ya Allah, they want to thank you for the leadership which you have given, bestowed upon this country. Ya Allah, we thank you for the leadership in the education fraternity, as we meet here today to celebrate a day which is a day of happiness for the candidates who did the 2018 KCSE examinations. Gathered here today, Ya Allah, are those whom you bestowed leadership, because you have said in the scriptures, يُؤْتِي الْمُلْكَ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ, you give leadership to those whom you wish. We made specific mention, Ya Allah, of our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Ambassador Amina Mohamed. We made specific reference to you, Ya Allah, of our Permanent Secretary, Dr. Belio Kistan. Ya Allah, we made specific mention to you of our Chairman of the Council, Professor George Magoha, and his team, the Board of Directors of the Kenya National Examination Council. Ya Allah, we made specific mention of the Acting CEO, Dr. Mati Karogo, and we pray that you continue to guide these leaders, together with the net management, that they may continue leading us in wisdom which you have bestowed upon them. We continue to pray to you as we enjoy the protection that you have given us in this country, particularly during the administration of the 2018 KCSE examinations. Those of us who are in the field, we know the challenges we faced, and we know it was your mercy and protection that kept us on the straight path. Ya Allah, you gave us a peaceful environment. You saw the education fraternity traverse in this country, and the stakeholders who are all keen to make sure that the 2018 KCSE examinations were credible. Today we also pray for the candidates who sat for the 2018 KCSE, that you may give them patience as they receive their results, that you will allow them to enjoy, to celebrate the results which you have given them as the fruits of their labor. Ya Allah, we pray that you will guide them to remember, to glorify you and thank you as we release the results today. Ya Rab, we pray this because we know that it is only your guidance and your will that prevails. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم آمين آمين ثم آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Please, thank you so much. The Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohamed, the Principal Secretary, the State Department of Education, the Ministry of Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, the Chair of the Kenya National Examinations Council, Professor George Magoha, the council members of the Kenya National Examinations Council, the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, the CEO, KICD, the Director General, State Department of Education, senior officials of the Ministry of Education, the representatives of the AEAA, representatives from the Teachers Union, with a special mention of the Secretary General of NAT, Mr. Wilson Sosion, who is also a member of Parliament,
I hope the COPET representative is here. The representatives of the KEPSHA, Kenya Primary Schools Heads Association, the representatives of KESHA, the Kenya Secondary Schools Heads Association, the Kenya Parents Association chairman and representatives, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I wish to, from the start, indicate, if you allow CS, that we will make sure that we rush through this program, of course not leaving any essential information, to catch up on the time that we might have lost. I want to also take this opportunity to sincerely apologize for the unavoidable delay in the start of the program. I wish to request, if the CS allows, that we can very quickly see who is here present, starting with the directors and senior officials of the Ministry of Education. You can wave to this meeting if you're present. That you can stand and wave to this meeting. Directors and senior officers of the Ministry of Education. Karibuni, you are most welcome. The representatives from the teacher unions, the ones who are present, please stand and wave to this meeting. Karibuni. The representatives of the teacher associations, KEPSHA and KESHA, please stand and wave to this gathering. Mmekaribishwa sana. The Kenya Parents Association. Yes. Karibu. Of course, we can see the members of the media fraternity. I know you are not allowed to wave, but for this occasion, please wave to this gathering. I want to have a quick mention of the representatives of the AEAA. AEAA is the African Educational Association, Association for Educational Assessment from Africa. We are blessed to have with us 7 national examination boards represented in this meeting. 7 national examination boards. If you allow, CS, if you have a few minutes, I could read them out. We normally benchmark with members of the AEAA, and in this gathering, to ensure that we went through proper awards and grading system, we had representatives of 7 national examination boards. South Sudan National Examinations Council was represented by the Secretary General, who is also the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Simon Nyok Deng. You're welcome. The Council for Quality Assurance in General and Further Education and Training, usually known as UMALUSI of South Africa, represented by Mr. Dennis Tuala, the Manager of Qualifications. You are welcome. The Malawi National Examinations Board, MANET, represented by Ms. Patricia Paseli, Examination Development Officer. Welcome. The Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEP, represented Ms. by Patricia Paseli, Examination Development Officer. Welcome. The Uganda National Examinations Board, UNEP, represented by Mr. Thomas Kagoro, a senior research officer. Karibu. The West African Examinations Council, WAEC, Ghana, represented by Mr. John Apia, Deputy Registrar and Head of Science. Welcome. The Examinations Council of Lesotho, ECOL, represented by Maureen Ntlatapa, Director of Product Development. In Kenya, that is the Director of Test Development. The Examinations Council of Zambia, Mwale Eric Mkanda, Test Development, Social Science. Malawi National Examinations Board, Mane Fred Mwale, Test Development. So you're all welcome. I now wish, if you allow, Chair, to request that the CEO of NEC, Dr. Mercy Karogo, makes a brief remarks.
The Department of Basic Education and Early Learning, Dr. Berio Kipsang, the Chairman of the Council, Professor George Mahoa, other council members present, the TSC Secretary, Dr. Nancy Masharia, the Director, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Dr. Julia Juan, Director General, State Department of Education, Minister of Education, Mr. Elias Abdi, Directors from the Ministry of Education, Regional Coordinators of Education, our guests from the region, representatives from other of stakeholder institutions, the center that we use for examinations, the media fraternity covering this function, the representative from the unions, the Director General, Mr. Sosioni, my colleagues from the Kenya National Examination Council, all our invited guests, good afternoon. I hereby take this opportunity on behalf of the Kenya National Examination Council fraternity to welcome you all you to this important occasion in the Kenya National Examinations calendar of activities, which is the release of the year 2018 KCSE examination results. I wish to recognize a special team of guests from our sister examinations board of Africa, who have already been mentioned by the Master of Ceremonies. And we welcome you most sincerely to Kenya. I know the CSE welcome you to Kenya and the past regards. And also to mention that we also go to the respective countries when they are doing similar processes, so that we are also able to draw from them as they draw from us, so that our African, we work together in the area of ensuring that the standards of examination are of high quality. As per our current curriculum, the candidates were examined across 31 subjects, spread to 76 papers, out of which English, Mathematics, Swahili are compulsory subject for candidates. The written papers for KCSE examination were administered in 18 days, from 5th to 28th November 2018. During this period, Kenya National Examination Council engaged the professional services of an estimated 82,059 contracted field personnel on multi-agency basis. This included 450 commissioners and assistant county commissioners, 900 education officers, 9,878 center managers, 10,183 supervisors, 36,622 invigilators, 1,800 security officers manning storage facilities, and 19,756 manning examination centers. We had 2,470 drivers. While field administration examination was in progress, the following stakeholders led by the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, collaborated with the NEC in monitoring the conduct of the examinations. Cabinet Secretary from all government ministries, led by our very own CS Ambassador Amina Mohamed, and the CS Interior and Coordination Government, Dr. Freddie Matiang'i, principal secretaries from various state departments, directors and deputy directors from various government directorates, senior officials from semi-autonomous government agencies, SAGAs, union and other associations, various government security agencies. Thereafter, Kenya National Examination Council conducted the marking of KCSE between 29th November and 14th December 2018, engaging the services of 22,225 examiners in 27 marking centers. Allow me at this point to convey our condolences as an institution to the family of one of our examiners, Mr. Lazarus Wekesa Silengo, who lost his life through a road accident. We pray that the Almighty God will continue to comfort his family during this difficult period. And I would request all of us to stand and give a minute of silence in honor of that examiner. Thank you very much. Thank you, seated. While the KCSE examination was in progress, Kenya National Examination Council also administered the 2018 Business Technical Examinations series between 23rd and 23rd November 2018. Processing of these results is ongoing and will be ready for release shortly hereafter. As I conclude my remarks, I wish to thank all well-meaning members of the public who gave Kenya National Examination Council support in various ways. It is through this team spirit that we achieved this far. I also want to assure our Kenyans on behalf of Kenya National Examination team that we remain committed to serving the Kenyan child as citizens with all due diligence. God bless you and God bless Kenya. Let me take this opportunity also to invite a representative from our guests. Is he from Umarusi? From Umarusi to come and make his remarks. Our invited guest representing Umarusi.
The Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Education, the Chairman of the Council for NEC, the Chief Executive Officer, NEC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. And once I say all protocol observed, just know that I'm in Africa. On behalf of the representatives of the 7 examination boards, from which countries the program director has already mentioned, that honored the invitation from NEC to participate on the 2018 KCSE examinations, standard setting and award meeting, as well as the benchmarking exercise. I feel greatly honored to be at this august occasion. As a collective, we wish to applaud and congratulate the country under the leadership of His Excellency, the Honorable President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the NEC for the successful conduct, management and administration of the 2018 national examinations. We hope that the experiences shared and the information received will go a long way to improve and strengthen our systems and processes when we return home. The exercise and the activities we have observed and engaged in during our visit were very useful and have broadened our understanding of how some processes and approaches could be applied in our country to strengthen examination system and their credibility. We are going home with a full conviction that the processes we have observed were credible and above board. and that the Kenyan education system has matured to the level where it can be successfully benchmarked internationally with other progressive education systems. In conclusion, we value, respect, and appreciate the NEC processes, for they are the future of this nation, and they are about the future of Africa. Asante sana.
Let me then take this opportunity to invite our chairman, Professor George Makoha, to make his remarks. Welcome, Chair.
God is good, and all the time. Your Excellency, Dr. Amina Mohamed, Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Education, my good friend Dr. Bailey Okipsang, all protocols observed. I think I want to start from the perspective of the fact that it has been a very steady 3 years today that I feel greatly honored to take this opportunity, first of all, to welcome you to NEC. This is our operational headquarters, even though we have offices elsewhere. And having listened to what has been said by our external publics, I'm very, very happy indeed. But let me then say that I would like to start by appreciating His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for having accorded my council the opportunity to work without interference. And Madam CS, if you can allow me to ask all the council members, including your peers, to be upstanding so that they can be seated. So, this is a wonderful council, including the peers. Please sit down. Because I am known to be a slave driver, and I can assure you that I have driven them to a level that sometimes I think I am lucky that they kept Madam CS listening to what I was saying. Going back to the beginning, I would like to appreciate the late General Kaiseri, who was the Minister for Interior. And in appreciating Kaiseri, I would like to appreciate the current Minister for Interior, Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i, and all the administrative paraphernalia, the regional, the regional commissioners, the county commissioners, the sub-county commissioners, because they take orders, and in that process, they made sure that certain orders were taken that were extremely beneficial. May I also historically thank our brother Joe Musheru, who is a CSICT, who has been responsible for the very smooth flow of data, confidential, secure data, which you, Madam, my immediate handler, Madam Ambassador Amina Mohamed, will be telling you shortly, that data has been handled in the most professional manner, and that you don't know the results up to now. Coming from there, Madam CS, I would like to also go forward. Mention just two of them. One, because I'm a bit tribalistic, I will mention Cicely Karaoke, who is my minister in the other side, who was out in many containers early in the morning, and the Honorable the Attorney General, who visited, I think, a container every day of the exam, and many other ministers who are all over the country, and other senior government officials. Madam CS, that tells you that even though you are the, I used to call you the field marshal, but for this particular exam, maybe there was another field marshal, and you are the deputy field marshal. I would like to name certain agencies directly in person. The Inspector General of Police, Joseph Boynet, George Kinoti of the CID, and even I will be excused to recognize Major General retired Philip Kameru for providing for us the agencies that ensured that we did not have temptation. Are we together? They provided the officers that ensured that we did not have temptation. Madam CS, I want to focus on my staff, whom I have not been praising for a long time. I would like to tell you that as at now, the 21st of December, the year of our Lord 2018, I now feel as chair of council that council is responsible for the strategy of everything, including exams. The management is responsible for at the tactical level, but the staff who are responsible for the operational level, I want to admit for the first time that I think we are there. It's good you are clapping for yourself because you know my standards are up there. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we are not talking about leakage of exams now. It's like in the past. And I'm very happy to hear from our colleagues in South Africa, because when I went hunting for a system to adopt, I met some people of Malusi and many others. And it gives me great satisfaction to hear them saying that we are now at par once again. When you see the results, you will know then that having practiced medicine for over 41 years, I know how the human brain works. And I can tell you, and you can take that the children have got what they deserve. Don't listen to those parents who don't know their children, who will come to you and tell you, well, I know my son. And yet your son did not even finish the exam. So every child, in as far as possible, has got what is due to the child. Madam CS, allow me to focus on Teacher Service Commission, led here by Dr. Nancy Macharia, with whom we work very well. I would like to appreciate our Kenyan teachers, the great majority of them. They are very professional and they have continued to improve in their diligence of their work. That we are seeing with the results improving every year. It's not my business to announce because that is your job, Madam CS. But I want to say that great more teachers are working very hard. But I also want to condemn in equal measure. There's still a small percentage of teachers who are a serious challenge to us. The government machinery offered a battery of monitors. But for 660,000, you cannot monitor everybody all the time. So those who are not able to monitor and belong to the corrupt few teachers, it is the teachers who are marking the exams that have caught them. And Madam CS, I want to plead that you should have no mercy, because in this life, you have a choice. Life is made of choices, isn't it? You will be my witnesses, together with my council, together with Madam CS herself. We sang every day that the exam has not leaked, and if you attempt, we shall catch you. And we have caught a few, so don't sympathize with them. I'm even asking the politicians from those areas not to dare to come and disturb us here, because we have been empowered to work and we are working. In order not to take too much time, I would like to say that perhaps what I have seen here, I keep saying that no condition is permanent, and 3 years is a cycle. So if God planned that this is my last speech, so it is good and it is well. The question we shall ask ourselves together with our council is that, is there anything measurable that we have left behind? Are you with me? You can say the exam is measurable, but I, as Magoha, son of Magoha, I'm still not happy. Because I would have preferred that as I leave in March, we have got our offices secured in one place in South Sea, and we have got a smart warehouse which houses the command and control center that is linked to the places where we take the exam for storage, the containers. So that gap, Madam CS, that is the big elephant in the room. If it is measured, it does not exist. So for those who will be here, in order for us to say we have accomplished anything measurable, I think that is the big elephant in the room that I have said we have not been able to do. As I maybe the gods don't want me to scold the students. I want to take this opportunity once again, my colleagues, brothers and sisters. And because of that, I will ask you to give Maio 1 minute. Maio is sitting there. Ngoja. The children are not guilty. The guilty people are the parents. The parents who give the children money, the parents who have no time for their children. They think that money is a form of education or love. It is not. And I wish to caution the students. The Constitution is for them. Please allow your brain to work. And if an adult, even if the person is your parent who produced you with his own blood, tell him or her to go to hell. Because you see, you will find out that those people who have problems with these exams, the child is in the classroom. The child would not have gone out to go and do the things that we have found they have done. It is us parents and some unscrupulous teachers. And Mayo, I'm just giving you 1 minute of my time so that you can help me to scold the parents and tell them that where we have reached now, you know, NEC used to cheat, to take part in the cheating again. It is up to you to decide whether you still think we are part of it. We have secured the whole examination process up to the container. So the problem is now between the container and the school, where a few teachers and some unscrupulous thugs are exposing the exam. Are we together? As you address the parents, tell them also to stop buying fake exams for the children. Madam CS, after my year, I just want to sit down. Thank you.
Honorable Cabinet Secretary, PS Dr. Belio, Chairman NEC Professor Makoa, CEO TSC, CEO NEC, NAT Representative Secretary Ban Association, Caption Sandimuli, all protocol observed. I want to see the members who have children in school, the parents. If you are a parent, please raise your hand. Anybody is a parent here? Thank you. So all of you are my members. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Parents Associations thanks the Ministry of Education and the Kenya National Examination Council for the invitation to witness the release of much awaited examination results. Education plays a great role in our lives. A good education has a lasting impact in the learner's life. It fuels their minds, body, and spirit. It is a simple and vital way to attainment of personal growth. As NPA, We speak for the child, whom you serve in your day-to-day work, and we speak as citizens of this country as well. This is why NPA is a fitting model of public participation that is required under the Kenya Constitution. We commend the Council and its staff for conducting examination in a transparent and professional manner. This year, there was a great improvement in delivery of papers in time and provision of security. Allow me to thank my colleague in National Parents Association Board, Pastor Patrick Lumumba, who worked closely with the security officials and Ministry of Staff in one of the centers, I think it was in KCSE, and ensured due process of law is apprehending cheating. May I also ask the Ministry and the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development to expedite the delivery of the new curriculum. As parents, we are ready for it. As we continue to forge a way forward, improving the basic education system of this country, we strongly urge the teachers to reconsider their decision to go on strike ahead of the opening of schools next year. It would be appropriate to try resolving these matters amicably. As NPA, we shall continue to work together in the Ministry of Education and all stakeholders. Those few remarks, may I say thank you so much, Professor Makwa, for giving me this opportunity to tell the parents that let us listen to what NEXT says, let us listen to what our CS for Education says, because at the end of the day, the importance will be our child. And all the dividends will come to us as parents. That is what we advocate for. So we thank the process of this year, 2018, and my members and the board will next year meet the CS for Education and make our NPA more stronger than before, because this is the voice of the parents. And without the parents, we are the clients. You're also the clients. It's us who bear the children, and we give you work. So I urge those young parents, please do your work. Bear more children so that these people can have their work. Thank you so much.
Let me take this opportunity and invite the COTSC, Dr. Nancy Macharia, to make her remarks. Welcome.
The Cabinet Secretary for Education, Ambassador Dr. Amina Mohamed, the Principal Secretary, Dr. Belio Kipsang, the next Chairman, Professor George Magoha, and all my colleague board members, the NEC Chief Executive, Dr. Mase Karogo, and all the NEC staff, senior staff from the Minister of Education and Teacher Service Commission, principals, heads present, union representatives present, at least I have seen Honorable Sosion, the Parents Association Chairman, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I'm happy for this opportunity to make a few remarks during the release of the 2018 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education. Having fully participated in the administration of the exam, it is indeed a pleasure to witness the release of the results. From the onset, I wish to assure that the Teacher Service Commission will continue to support all efforts to deliver credible examinations at all levels. Indeed, during the 2018 Kenya KCSE examination, more than 80,000 teachers took part in the different aspects of examination, including center managers, supervisors, invigilators, and examinations, and therefore showing that without the teaching fraternity, this wouldn't have succeeded. And I think we need to applaud our teachers. In addition, all the 47 directors of Teacher Service Commission and 243 sub-county directors played a key role in identifying, deploying, and supervising center managers, supervisors, and invigilators to ensure that we had the most credible people during the whole of this exam process. I wish to take this opportunity to most sincerely thank all the TSE staff for their commitment and focus during the exercise. In particular, I am very grateful to all the teachers who contributed in the administration and processing of the 2018 KCSE. Whenever I joined our principals early in the morning at the container, it renewed and strengthened my faith in the teaching profession. I realized that to the principals, it was not just a question of duty, but an expression of the highest level of sacrifice and commitment. The TSE fraternity at this juncture would wish to condole with the family and friends of one of the teachers whom the NEC refers to as an examiner, but to us, he is a teacher who lost his life during the examination exercise. He was an examiner at Pagani. We stand with that family and we will continue supporting them in any way we can as a commission. I remember one principal telling me that protecting the examination, the integrity of the examination was his most patriotic moment. Likewise, every day our supervisors and invigilators went about their duties with diligence and commitment. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 2018 KCSE examination, there was a significant improvement in performance, as our cabinet secretary will come here and tell us, compared with the last 2 years. No doubt, it is clear that the performance management programs that the TSE has put in place in the last 3 years are now paying off. As most of you are aware, the Commission has put in place a strong accountability system to ensure compliance with and maintenance of teaching standards. Through the ongoing implementation and institutionalization of the teacher appraisal program, there has been a remarkable improvement in teacher-learner contact. This increased contact hours, which is critical to effective curriculum delivery. The Commission is committed to a complete implementation of integrity in the national examination system. This is intended to inculcate a culture of professional accountability in the administration, management, and processing of examinations. Through the teacher professional development programs which we are introducing, the accountability will be further implemented, and through these programs, we are retooling our teachers, upgrading their skills and knowledge to keep in tandem with the current trends, including the competence-based curriculum. And in so doing, going forward, our teachers will be the best in the continent in terms of the exam process and implementing the curriculum-based curriculum. In order to promote and inbuild integrity within the examination system, we will continue dealing firmly and expediently with any irregularities in the administration and the management of examinations. In this regard, I wish to note that during the administration of this year's exams, KCSE exams, 62 cases of non-conformity and violation of non-conformity to a violation of examination regulations were registered by NEC and have been handed over to us. Out of the 62, 5 teachers have been interdicted for offenses associated with non-compliance to examination procedures. Investigations are going on in the other cases. We will ensure the cases are conducted within the shortest time possible and that we must do away with teachers who can't comply with the regulations. I would, however, wish to focus more on the thousands of our teachers who carried out their duties in the most diligent and professional manner. They are our true heroes and heroines. This year, I wish to recognize 40 men and women in the teaching service And this does not mean they are limited to that number. There are very many more. But I wish to especially thank and recognize these 40 who have consistently rendered exemplary service as examiners for 20 years and above. Over the years, they have risen to the positions of either chief examiner or assistant chief examiners. Those of us who have at one point been NEC examiners know that marking is one of the most demanding exercises, which also require a lot of concentration and focus. These are indeed some of our unsung heroes and heroines. The TSC will be recognizing them in line with the Commission's policy on recognition and award. And in addition, we shall also be forwarding their names to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of this Republic, to confer them with awards and honors. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have said before, TSC is towards full professionalization of the teaching service. In view of this, the measure towards institutionalizing of integrity and professional accountability is to fully enforce registration of all teachers, whether in public or private school. This is in line with the TSC Act. As a result, the Commission has directed all TSC county and sub-county directors to ensure that from January 2019, all teachers engaged in teaching, whether in public or private learning institutions, are fully qualified and registered. Further and critically important, we will be seeking to amend the TSC Act to provide for dismissal and registration of any teacher involved in examination cheating. The deregistration of such teachers will ensure they are completely removed from the teaching profession and the examination process, even outside this country. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I come to the final edit of my points. I would want to just say something about the transition, where we are transitioning a lot of children, the 100%, to our secondary schools. And as I have already alluded to in the past, we have a shortage of 87,707 teachers. And when we include those teachers required for the transition, this comes to 100,437. I want to assure the public that we are engaged in discussions with the National Treasury to ensure that going forward, every child has a teacher in class. And as we bring the teachers and in liaison with the ministry, we are doing everything to ensure this 100% succeeds. We are also asking our parents that as they take their children to school, they also don't leave everything to the teachers. Teachers have a very big task to ensure that our children do well, are disciplined in schools, but our parents, as you have heard, must also be involved with their children even when they go back to school, so that we all have concerted efforts. And so finally, I wish to once again most sincerely thank our teachers for a job well done. Let me also take this opportunity to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Let me take this opportunity to invite our PS, Dr. Belio Kipsang, to come and make his remarks. And since I won't come here again after this, we will have a meeting with the regional coordinators before they leave. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CEO. The Cabinet Secretary for Education, Dr. Amina Mohamed, the Chair, CEO, and staff of the Kenya National Examination Council, the CEO, TSC, our Director General, and my colleagues from the Ministry of Education. At this juncture, I would want to request the regional coordinators, if you are here, please let's stand. Santeni Sana. Those are the regional coordinators Mercy would want to meet after this. Our brothers in the union, led by Honorable Sosion. Our principals of schools, I have seen quite a number of them here. Our special guests, thank you very much for honoring us and being generous enough to say all that you've said about us. It's good when you hear somebody else giving you the ratings that they have given us. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to take this opportunity to most sincerely thank the staff of Kenya National Examination Council. I know your chair has already said that. And say that we can now see a team that is able to move forward this particular process. The investment that the council led by Professor Magoha has done in making sure that we institutionalize the processes that we are doing, we are now starting to realize and see those particular fruits of institutionalization of the work that you are doing. The most important thing is posterity. And when we are sure that we are leaving a firm foundation, then we can therefore now say our children into the future will be in safe hands. We look forward to yourself ensuring that the examination processes that has been put in place continue to be there and making sure that the integrity of our examination is what the Kenyan people expect of us. I would want to thank all my colleagues in the sector who participated in the examination process. It was a collective responsibility, more so those of us who are in the field. At this juncture, I would want to thank my colleagues. They are my new colleagues now, my colleagues of the container. So once again, my colleagues at the container, we say thank you very much. It was an opportunity, and it's always an opportunity that we meet there. It feels good sometimes when you meet these colleagues of ours in the container. Some of them happen to be our own classmates. But once again, you are the people, as people say, where the rubber meets the road is yourselves. You wake up every morning, you go back there in the evening. You are the real people that we need to celebrate as a country. And I would want to assure you that we shall continue to recognize and celebrate the role that you play in making sure that we produce the next generations of Kenyans who will take this country to the next level. I would want also at this juncture to assure all of us, assure our parents, assure our Kenyan people that we shall continue to play our roles, the roles for which we are paid for, to ensure that the integrity of our examinations meets the standard that the Kenyan people expects. I would not want to say so much because today is the day of my boss. I'm here to ensure that we all will be able to appreciate the work that we have done and the investment that we have put in for our children. I know the Kenyan public is so anxious to see the results of their children. So with those very many remarks, it's now my humble duty to invite our Cabinet Secretary to make our remarks and release the results. Ndio mitihani. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give another hand to the chairman and the NEC team for that they have done. The Principal Secretary, State Department of Basic Education, Dr. Bello Kipsang, the Teacher Service Commission CEO, Dr. Nancy Macharia, the Chairperson, NEC, Professor George Magoha, the CEO NEC, Dr. Mercy Karogo, our esteemed guests from Uganda, South Sudan, South Africa, Malawi, Zambia, and Ghana, thank you very much for being here with us. The NEC Council members, the Secretary General of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, Honorable Sosion, representatives of KUPPET, the Chairman of the Kenya Parents Association, the Chairman of the Kenya Secondary Schools Association, our colleagues from the Ministry of Education, from NEC, from the Teacher Service Commission, the principals that are here with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd also like to thank our friends from the media. Thank you for your patience this afternoon. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this brief ceremony at which I will release the 2018 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination results. In doing so, we are fulfilling our earlier promise that candidates, parents, and guardians will proceed to the festive season knowing the results of the 2018 KCSE. I'd like to thank my two cabinet colleagues, Dr. Fred Matiang'i and Dr. Joe Musheru, who are involved in this process from day one and have been involved throughout. I'd like to ask you to give them a hand. They did an amazing job of supporting the process that we're involved in. I'd also like to thank the principal secretaries in the Ministries of Interior and of ICT, who also helped lead this process. I thank all the officers who are involved in the marking and the processing of the examinations for working round the clock to ensure that the results were ready on time. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard that our teachers, who then transformed into center managers and later into examiners, were the real heroes, and we'd like to thank them very much for the amazing work that they did. I don't think it's easy for the rest of us to actually transform themselves, right, from one to another, right, from being the principal of a school, a teacher, to being the center manager, and coming to the containers in the morning, a very new innovation for me, but which I thoroughly enjoyed because of the company that I had so early in the morning at the opening of the and then they finished with that and were ready to take on the next exercise as examiners. We are truly grateful to them. As you may be aware, this year saw us step up the fight against examination cartels that had until 2015 permeated the process of administering examinations through facilitating all manner of cheating, including full-blown leaking of papers. I wish to announce that this spirited battle against the cartels hit a crescendo this year when the ministry, together with the Interior and National Coordination of Government Ministry, arrested 6 masterminds of examination cheating who had been on the run for more than 6 years. 4 have already been charged in various Kenyan courts and are awaiting justice to be meted against them. With the 6 now in custody, we are clearly on the way to eliminating these immoral and illegal practices that are intended to destroy the moral fabric of our society. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 KCSE examinations were free of any leakage. There was not a single question or examination paper that was leaked to anyone before the scheduled start of the individual examinations. However, as you all know, in the course of the exams, we witnessed a number of centers where some examination officials engaged in attempted early exposure of examinations, as I will outline shortly. During the 2018 Jamhuri Day celebrations on December 12th, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta directed us to work with relevant government agencies to ensure that all candidates who sat the KCPE 2018 exams joined secondary schools early next year under the 100% transition policy. Since then, I have issued directives to our field officers to ensure they map out their regions and work with teachers, with chiefs, with parents, with guardians, and other relevant officials to ensure that no child fails to report to Form 1 in January 2019. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for the second year, the Ministry will continue supplying students with all core books. Candidates whose results will be released today have every reason to be more hopeful than previous cohorts. I wish to announce that the government has enhanced financing to over 150,000 TVET trainees at an estimated cost of 10.5 billion Kenya shillings. Currently, HELB is funding students in 74 TVET institutions and is expected to progressively increase funding to TVET trainees in all the 203 TVET institutions across our beloved country. I encourage more KCSE graduates to apply for admission in approved Ministry of Education TVET institutions. Coupled with our push for universities to enhance enrollment into STEM subjects as part of the efforts to build capacity to deliver the Big Four agenda, the TVET courses will produce the competencies we need to transform our country into a newly industrialized middle-income economy. I hope that based on the 2018 KCSE results, we can continue the recent trend of raising the proportion of students enrolling in STEM subjects in our public universities. This proportion rose to 44.8% in the 2017-2018 intake, up from traditional 20% intakes in previous years. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, during the 2018 KCSE examination, there were 660,204 candidates who sat the KCSE examinations. Of all the candidates, 338,628 were male, while 321,576 were female, representing 51.29% and 48.71% of the total candidature, respectively. From this percentage composition, it can be concluded that we are consistently and continuously marching towards achieving gender parity in the KCSE examination enrollment. We must keep up this positive trend. The examination, ladies and gentlemen, was taken in 10,078 examination centers across our country. A total 18 counties had more female than male candidates in the 2018 KCSE examination, compared to 17 counties last year. The 18 counties this year are Taita Taveta, Kwale, Nyandarua, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Kiambu, Machakos, Kitui, Meru, Makueni, Tharaka Nithi, Uasin Gishu, Nandi, Laikipia, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kakamega, Vihiga, and Kisumu counties. A total of 1,499 candidates with special needs sat the 2018 KCSE examinations, compared with 1,407 in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, the highest percentage of candidates registered in this year's examination was within the ideal age bracket of between 19 and 20 years, constituting 279,3 482, which is 42% of the total candidature. In 2018, the 2018 KCSE examinations, 14 subjects recorded a significant improvement in performance compared to 13 subjects in 2017. I'll repeat that. In 2018, 14 subjects recorded a significant improvement in performance compared to 13 last year. 12 subjects recorded a significant decline in performance compared with 13 in 2017. Female candidates performed better than male candidates in the following 6 subjects: English, Kiswahili, CRE, Home Science, Art and Design, and Metalwork. Yes, that made me smile as well. I think as women we are truly getting there. Male candidates performed better than female candidates in 20 other subjects. Well, I think in support of the chairman of NEC, we probably should also clap for the boys. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the number of candidates attaining the highest overall mean grade, A-plane, in the KCSE examination rose from 142 candidates to 315 this year. That's more than double, and we're extremely delighted with that result. Overall, the number of candidates with minimum university entry qualifications of mean grade C+ and above is 90,377, which is 13.77%, compared with last year's 11.38%, which was 70,073. I'll repeat that number because I think it's important. The number of candidates with minimum university entry qualifications of mean grade C+ and above is 90,377, which is almost 20,000 more than the number that we had last year, which was 70,073. Ladies and gentlemen, this year we have gone a step further to conduct an analysis of how individual candidates have performed in the KCSE relative to their performance in the KCPE 4 years ago. Our aim is to show the value to candidates by schools depending on how much they actually improved. Based on that analysis, the candidates who improved the most, is Josephat Mwangi Kamau of Mioro Secondary School, a sub-county secondary school in Mathioya County of Murang'a County, which I have to say is home to one of our most distinguished leaders seated here today, the CEO of the Service Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, although this young man, Josephat, scored only 278 marks in KCPE, he has scored a mean grade of A- with a performance index of 79.4. I will read out the names of 5 others. I will not read out more than 5 of those that were really most improved. So the first one, as I said, was Kamau Josephat Mwangi, who had 278 at KCPE and has a mean of A- at KCSE. There's Kulu Richard, who had 257 marks at KCPE and has scored a mean grade of B+. You have Maingi George Mburu, who had 279 at KCPE and also has a mean grade of B+. There's Wamboi James Kamau, who scored 186 at KCPE, 186, and has a mean of B-. There's Cheriot Gideon, who had 209 at KCPE and scored a B, mean grade, in KCSE. Which basically means that they're all going to university. This is clear evidence, ladies and gentlemen, that candidates who may perform poorly in KCPE can perform excellently in KCSE despite the low marks that they achieved 4 years previously. It provides clear evidence. Thank you very much. It provides clear evidence that the government's 100% transition policy is brilliant and that it will give a second chance to candidates who may have lost out in the KCPE but will be able to realize their full potential after having been given that opportunity to actually move to Form 1. Ladies and gentlemen, overall the top candidates in the 2018 KCSE examination is Otieno Irene Juliet. Otieno Irene Juliet is from Pangani Girls. She had a performance index of 87.644, which is an A. I really want to congratulate her very, very much. I think it's wonderful to have a female as the top candidate in the 2018 KCSE examination. I wish to commend Pangani Girls for producing these top candidates and doing it successfully for 2 years in a row. I'm going to read out the names of the 20 candidates, the 20 top candidates nationally. So you already know who the first one is. The second one is Kaluna James from Maseno School. The third is Edwin Otieno Ouko from Light Academy. The fourth is Kamweru Mwangi Duncan Ian, Moi High School, Kabarak. The fifth is Humphrey Rasugu, Maseno School, followed by Mel Christine, Alliance High School. Njenga Brian Ndungu from Mangu High School. Osogo Munyenye Wesley, Alliance. Nyakea Mora Shalin, Moi Girls School, Nairobi. Onyando Roy Alan Ochieng from Maranda High School. Madenge Stephanie Kirigo from Moi High School, Kabarak. Njoroge Anthony Maina, Mangu High School. Whitney Nicanor Mambui from Kapsabet Boys. Ayodi Alfred Mugei from Moi High School, Kabarak. Langat Angela Cherotich from Precious Blood Ruta. Dushime Ansiet Wamungu from Nakuru High School. Matsotso Madeline Auma from Moi High School, Kabarak. Nyabuto Stephen Obure from Alliance High School. Ochieng Joshua from Maseno School. Gitao Mark from Light Academy. This improved performance can be attributed to a number of factors. First, the Ministry of Education mounted robust countrywide educational quality dialogues in all the 47 counties. The dialogues, which I personally supervised, gave an opportunity for the TSC, for NEC and KICD, among other key policy agencies, to sensitize education stakeholders on areas that needed urgent attention in delivering quality education. In this, we were well coordinated, we were deliberate, and we delivered as one. I want to thank all those that were involved, including the CEOs that are seated at the high table for being extremely generous with their time and attending these quality county dialogues. Second, NEC, for the first time, printed and distributed the annual KCSE examination reports and dispatched them in very early in the year, as opposed to previous years when these were dispatched in the third term. The import of this was that candidates and teachers were able to diagnose the difficult areas in their curriculum much earlier than previously done. Third, the ministry carried out a countrywide pre-examination monitoring exercise that started in the second term. During this exercise, candidates were sensitized on the need to work hard and cover the syllabus on time, as the ministry was keen to ensure that there were no examinations that were leaked. From the KCSE results, it's clear that the majority of our candidates heeded the advice given, prepared for the examinations adequately, leading to the improvement that we have seen today. Lastly, during the release of the 2017 KCSE examination results, we pointed out that many candidates failed in most papers because they had inadequate depth and could not apply the syllabus critically while answering questions. Specifically, most candidates' answers to questions requiring elaborate responses were inadequately tackled last year. However, based on this year's results, these gaps appear to have been addressed. We all took our lessons learned seriously. We implemented various recommendations on examinations management. As I indicated on November the 28th, 2018, in my KCSE closing statement at the end of the exams, as a result of the combined efforts of the multi-agency team and stringent measures issued to guide the administration of the 2018 examination, there was no leakage at all. However, we reported cases of early exposure, we reported cases of impersonation, we reported cases of possession of unauthorized and illegal materials in some examination centers, and we reported cases of collusion. Most of these cases were detected and dealt with on the spot, thereby preserving the integrity of the examination process. Arising from these offenses, NEC has cancelled results for 100 candidates. We have also withheld results of some centers, of some examination centers. These centers will be notified of this decision as soon as the results are released. In the meantime, NEC will finalize investigations into suspected malpractices and will release a report on the same or before the end of January, 31st of January 2019, on or before the end of January 31st, 2019. I wish to assure the nation, affected candidates, and parents that due diligence will be undertaken to ensure that no candidate is unfairly penalized, is unfairly treated. During the examination process, ladies and gentlemen, 191 people, including candidates, were arrested and they were arraigned in court for various examination offenses. Some 56 cases are still pending in court. I wish to inform all candidates and their parents or guardians that the KCSE examination results will be collected by the respective schools from the Sub-County Director of Education offices. Candidates should then collect their results from their respective examination centers. Individual candidate results can also be accessed by sending a candidate's index number through a short message service, SMS, to 20076. 20076 immediately after this event. Principals can download and print the online result slips for candidates in their schools and authenticate them before they are released to parents, guardians, or candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long afternoon. It's been a wonderful afternoon where we now know the results of our candidates who sat the KCSE exams. It's therefore now my pleasure to declare the 2018 KCSE examination results officially released. I wish all candidates success in their future endeavors. I wish Kenyans a merry festive season and a prosperous New Year 2019. And I want to thank all of you for your attention, for your patience, and wish you all the best too. Thank you very much. Yes. So I think you need to all come down.
And finally, the KCSE results 2018 have been released by the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Amina Mohamed. We've been broadcasting the event to you live from the NEC headquarters. You can text your index number to the number on your screen to find out your results. And there you have it. The top candidate is Juliet Otieno from Pangani Girls. Congratulations to all candidates. And of course, we wish you the very best as you find out your results. So on your screen, still activity taking place at the NEC headquarters, but with me here in studio, my guests still remain Emmanuel Manyasa from Uwezo, Kenya, also Otoa Sifuna, a teacher at the M-Pesa Foundation Academy, and Victor Wanga, a teacher at the Upper Hill School. Gentlemen, thanks very much for staying with us. Let me get your initial reactions to the results. It has indeed been a long morning and afternoon. Victor, I'll start with you.
Oh, thank you very much. I am more than delighted with the results. First and foremost, I want to congratulate the best student in the whole country, that is Otieno Irene Juliet. And I also want to congratulate my student from Upper Hill School. I've just received his results, Walter Mukuma, with A plane. I think that is great. That was my student from Form 1. Wow. I'm very happy for him. And as a teacher, I feel delighted. The result that has been released, just as we had projected, we projected something better, from 142 A's to 315. Mm-hmm. And for the first time, I was keenly analyzing the words of my CEO. Madam Nancy Macharia has really dwelt on the teacher, and that was part of our subject today. Teacher-learner contract and several other things, including recommending teachers to be appreciated by the head of state. I think this is great, and I really commend the TSC for having prepared us for this great thing. To the candidates who have just received their results, they need to accept it. Parents guide the candidates well so that the anxiety is not that high. Mm-hmm. There are some students who will not accept it because they have not probably received the results as expected, but this is not the end of life. Right. There are people who probably have not done better in exam, but they have really become so successful in life.
Okay, and more from you in just a moment. I just want to get brief, quick reactions. Otoa, your reactions to what's happened, what were the highlights for you?
Yeah, just like my colleague here, I'm equally a very delighted teacher, as Otoa Sifuna teaches English and literature, and you can see that girls have actually floored boys in this. My very great challenge to all the boys in this country is that please wake up. I have a program in my school called Boys to Men. It's my great challenge that boys, girls are really catching up with you. I'm not trying to be a feminist here, but I'm simply saying that boys, you need to know that your sisters are really up on they are really giving you a run for your money. You've seen the top candidate from Pangani Girls, Juliet, very, very strong accolades to her. And I think you can even see that at the mention of the top candidates, my heart went to even former Kunoti of Stare Boys Center and School, and I was just trying to converse with talk to my colleague here. Amina, the CS has indicated something called early coverage of syllabus. It really works wonders, and in some of the institutions where we teach, that is actually a very key ingredient. When you finish or you finalize the syllabus on time, you give the students an ample opportunity even to revise, and that could inform why there has been an improvement in results. But all said and done, we started this program by indicating that yes, the soldiers fight, but the strong accolades goes to the general. The general in this case has been Kenya National Examination Council. The general who has received strong accolades has been the top echelons. But where is the teacher? I'm glad, and you saw it come out very clearly about my friend who was run over by a speeding car at Pangani when he was marking. And we had stopped at that point where I said, Kenya National Examination Council needs even to give insurance, insurance to the examiners. And I will be the most happy teacher if I know that tomorrow or even the day after tomorrow, just like the results have been released on record time, the examiners, the contracted examiners who are actually teachers, have been paid forthwith. Because these are just peanuts. They are very small amount. Let the teachers be paid. You know, that is going to motivate them. For the 40 teachers who have been identified because of overstaying at the marking center are just a drop in the ocean. The question we are asking, we should be asking ourselves as a country and as Kenya National Examination Council, is why are we having a lot of seasoned teachers abandoning the marking exercise and leaving it to the newcomers?
Okay.
That's a very crucial question. If we answer that, then we will be talking about retention factors, how to make a teacher feel comfortable and feel part and parcel of this.
Okay,
but we are very grateful because of the improved results.
All right, and Emmanuel, so the teachers by and large are happy with the results. From your perspective, what are your thoughts?
Thank you. I think the results are what we anticipated from the beginning, that they will be better this year. I must just take this opportunity to congratulate NEC for doing their work very well, congratulate the parents whose children and the children themselves and teachers went to exams without attempts to cheat. We have seen there were attempts to cheat by some people. We congratulate the majority of them who did not cheat in the exam, because that is the essence of this. I am still a bit disappointed in a number of things, and I need to point those out. One is the insinuation here that the high-powered involvement of government officials added value to the examination process. I don't agree with that. And I would like, now that the results have been presented, I would like to see some accountability. I would like to see the billions that we spent on the examination process, how they were distributed. Because we can hear teachers saying they are being paid peanuts for their work. How did we spend the billions? And I hope they are not spent on flying senior people in government around. And if they were spent on them, I would like to see the value addition in terms of ensuring the exams are credible. Because I'm not convinced that that adds value. I would like to see an audit of that. Second thing, I am disappointed a bit that we are kind of going backwards in instilling competition in exam. At some point we had said we are not going to rank candidates, we are not going to rank schools, because that created a competitive spirit that creates winners and losers in the exam. And we didn't want exams to produce winners and losers. We have been in this discussion saying, let the examination process be an evaluation of what candidates can do and not who is better than who. And I see that coming back, and I'm disappointed a bit in that.
Okay. All right. Any disappointments on your part, Victor? Of course, there is elation now because several pupils have, of course, performed well. But where are your concerns?
My concern is how people perceive, how our country perceive the boy child. When there was an improvement of the girl child, the boy child was like, I didn't see the kind of vigor. The boy child, they have improved in 20 subjects. When it reached the girl child, there was a bit more of what is happening in our society today. Let us put the boy child to be at the right place. As a teacher who teaches in a boys' school, I can say that boys go through a lot and they need a lot of mentors. They need us to be there for them. And so on that perspective, a bit something more concern to be put on the boy child and as other programs. Then on the research that have just been released, I want to commend the girl child for the good work. Like I've seen the metal work, which is very rare. And so it tells us that the gender bridge per subject is being closed. And I want to challenge them to also do more effort in sciences. We want to see the girls rise, because a society where the girl child is not appreciated and where the girl child is put aside, we might not be as progressive as such. So these are very commendable results, and I really want to congratulate the over 90,377 candidates who are moving to the university. They need to work hard, pursue those courses, and come and be change makers in our society. Right. As teachers, I congratulate my fellow teachers for the good work they have done, and keep it up. We are happy. Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Yeah, 100% transition, which the President, His Excellency, the President, very emphasized. It has been re-echoed by Nancy Macharia, TSC CEO. Very quick reservations. One, and for the very first time, Nancy Macharia coming out very clearly to admit that this country is lacking to attune, and it could even be more. Dr. here could even give, because he is very privy to some of the statistics, is over 100,000 teachers deficit in class. Yes. We need to start a very strong discussion about it. She's talked about the discussion with the National Treasury. The government must come to be cognizant to the fact that the teacher-student ratio is wanting. They must employ as many teachers as possible to meet this 100% transition. She has in her speech, the CS Education has pointed out clearly that 10.5 billion shillings is actually going towards revamping of TVET technical colleges. My question is, yes, it is a move to the right direction. I always say, Simiriti, that all of us cannot put on a suit and go to the office. The office is too small. We are talking of youthful unemployment. For every 10 youth, actually, you are talking of 7 being unemployed. Right. We are asking ourselves that, yes, and if you asked me very honestly, it was very wrong for us as a nation, first of all, to be exam-oriented, where everybody wants a degree. You go to the streets now here in Nairobi, everybody actually will, first of all, ask you the first question you are asked, are you a graduate? Right. We are negating the reality of life. If the nation media wanted somebody to fix an electronic gadget here, or just even this bulb here, you really, sometimes we even have to import some of this technical skill. It is wrong, for instance, a technical college like this Technical University of Kenya, which was initially Kenya Polytechnic, to be converted into a university. We have quickly converted all our technical colleges into universities. Right. Reason? Everybody wants a degree. Yeah. There is white-collar jobs, but there is also blue-collar jobs. Actually, the research is indicating that now money is in blue-collar jobs. People must, and the youth must be decolonized in their mind. When I was at the university, I read Ngugi wa Thiong'o. It's called, the book is called Decolonizing the Mind. We need to instill into our youth to know that even the blue-collar jobs are paying. Right. We do not have to get a degree, a doctorate of philosophy for us to survive in the ever-changing market trends. So it is very good, 10.5 billion to go to revamp our technical courses. But at the same time, we need to actually go to the drawing board and rewrite our narrative. Okay. Not everybody who goes to the university is successful. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for those comments. Let me just bring our viewers up to speed. What you're seeing on your screen at the moment are the top 10 candidates nationally that emerged from the KCSE results of 2018. As you have heard, in first place, Juliet Otieno from Pangani Girls, followed by James Kaluma from Maseno School. In third place, Oko Edwin in Light Academy. Then we have Mwangi Kamweru from Kabarak. Humphrey Rasugu from Maseno, Mel Christine from Alliance, and Brian Jenga from Mangu, Wesley Osogo from Alliance, and Nyakea Mora from Moi Nairobi Girls, and then we have Onyando Roy Allen from Amaranda High. So those are the top 10 candidates nationally. Congratulations to you. And now, just before we close, I just want to get your final thoughts and comments. Manuel, I'll start with you. Perhaps your final thoughts, and also a note to parents and pupils who have just experienced these results.
My final thoughts, I hope that we will quickly move away from the do or die exam, because that is something that needs to change. To parents and to young people who have finished exams this year, I think parents need to understand one thing. One, they must stop trying to force their children to live their dreams through their children. I taught in the university, and one of the problems we had in the university is students enrolling in the courses they don't want because parents insist.
Right.
So parents should give their children space to live their own dreams and to pursue what is of interest and ability to them. Because there is also always a mismatch between interest and ability, and that is a big problem. You enroll in a course because that is what you think is the best, and you don't have the ability. You have ability in other things and not what you're enrolled in. So for the young boys and girls who just finished school, sit down, seek counsel, so that you can be able to match your interests with what you are capable of doing. And there are very many things to do, regardless of the grade you have gotten. And that should be able to help going forward.
Okay, Emmanuel, thank you very much. And what are your thoughts, Ottawa, on the way forward for pupils who are watching? Some perhaps have not performed as well as they hoped.
Yeah, but they need to, first of all, we need to delink or again decolonize our mind from this heavy exam-oriented society. Last year, but one Simility, it was very bad that a student in Homa Bay plunged into a borehole immediately after the results were released because of poor performance. For those who have excelled and they are going to the university, kudos. For those who have not attained the university entry, life does not end at this rate. You can even see those who attained very low marks at KCPE. They have come to know that KCPE mark was not the end of of life, and they have done so well. I want to encourage parents, please. You know your child. Personally, I do encourage parents. You know the cognitive levels, abilities of your children. Do not now, at this particular time, now try to juxtapose your child with the neighbor's child and say, wangu ni maembe sana. No, let us now accept our children the way they are. Let's look at what opportunities it can for us now to start moving forward. As a nation, let us invest heavily in all the skills at different levels. And I think I'll be the happiest teacher if one day the competence-based curriculum will come into fruition, because I know the different pathways that the competence-based curriculum, which I reckon should it die a political death, I'll be very, very sad. With the coming of the competence-based curriculum, Simility, we shall have killed many birds with a single stone. All
right. Thank you so much, Ottawa Sifuna. And yourself, Victor, your closing remarks.
Thank you very much. Just to echo what my colleagues have said, is that to the candidates who did KCSE, whether you have an E, you have an A, there's a life for you. And so do not stress yourself, compose yourself, and look for what you can achieve in life. There are people who had 186, they have B-. You could get opportunity somewhere, you can become the best entrepreneur in this country. And once again, to the great teachers of this country, you matter, and the teachers matter. Do your best so that next year we want us to reach 150,000 going to the university. And that is a sign of progress in our society. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and for your input during our coverage of the KCSE 2018 results. Much appreciated. Victor Wanga, teacher at the Upper Hill School, Otoa Sifuna, teacher at the M-Pesa Foundation Academy, and also Emmanuel Manyasa from Uwezo, Kenya. Thank you very much for your time. You have been watching our live coverage of the KCSE results. Once again, congratulations to all of you, and as you've heard from my panel, those of you who perhaps didn't perform as you had hoped, we wish you all the best, because there is a life after these results. Pursue your dreams. All right, we leave you with some live pictures, but that's where I say bye-bye and have yourself a good evening. Do tune in to NTV Jioni at 7 p.m. and NTV Weekend Edition at 9 p.m. We'll be coming to you live from the county of Baringo tonight. You don't want to miss it. And for now, we don't leave you with live pictures, but we will in fact leave you with the board that will give you all the 10 top candidates from this year's exams. Bye-bye.